Ibrahim Magu is in real trouble. By the time the acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Ibrahim Magu, first claimed that the deadly coronavirus disease was caused by corruption, I had long concluded that his dimness was genuine. In 2018, Channel's TV host Mokpe Ogun Yusuf asked him during an interview about building formidable constructions or obstructions to constitutionalists, his agency's supposed fight against corruption. Magu responded by talking about 24 million buildings that are being inaugurated. After a few stunned moments passed, and I realized it was not frivolous, it dawned on me that he was a digbat. How did it happen that someone so lacking in elemental knowledge superintended the anti-corruption initiative in Nigeria until the movement and comments on technicalities by Chief Justice of Nigeria Ibrahim? I did not imagine anyone in public administration could be that dim-witted. It should be a thing of wonder that a single administration like this present regime managed to headhunt, appoint, and retain people who have such a moronic grasp of their jobs. But no, all of that idiocy is pretty consistent with character of governments that hired them. Last month, at the passing out parade of 281 cadets of EFCC Detective Inspector Course 5 that took place at the Nigerian Defense Academic, Kaduna, Magu was quoted to have said that corruption is the biggest strategy to humankind. Your Excellency, corruption is worse than all the diseases now running about. And I strongly believe that, Your Excellency, even the coronavirus is caused by corruption. According to media reports, the President's Major General Muhammadu Buhari was in the audience and even applauded Magu. For Magu to have confidently stood before the President, his boss, and utter that nonsense. He knew that Buhari was not any more intelligent, has no expectations of Magu's aptitude, and no ideas is so stupid that it could be passed off with Buhari as long as you blame it on corruption. I should pause to observe that one of the many ways that the Buhari's interdetermining personnel in public affairs has played out is this pervasive clues. Clueless public officials blame symptoms of their ignorance and incompetence on corruption. Magu, seeing Buhari in the audience, also pandered by that reigning sensitivity. After the initiative denied by his embarrassed Spain doctors at the EFCC that he never linked coronavirus to corruption, Magu recently doubled down on his assertion. By the time I watched the second video of him still in intelligently linking coronavirus and corruption, I arrived at a second conclusion. Magu has no plans from now to the unforeseeable future to sharpen himself. And there is the real trouble with him. He did not get his job on merit. He knows his assignments and assessments for his continued fit for that office is not based on superior achievements, and therefore he has no motivation whatsoever to improve its intellect. Because he notes that in that quote ascribed to Magu, he said that he strongly believes that even coronavirus was caused by corruption. It is doubling that the chair of an agency whose stack is premised on the empiricism by analysis, interpretation, facts, and probability of their allegations is talking about what he strongly believes. That attitude, the premising of your gut feelings over what might be objectively true, calls into questions the judgment with which he approaches crimes as anti-corruption Caesar. Magu's statement with coronavirus might not have been surprising, but it is still just as shameful. According to the media report that told on him, Madu has also previously described cancer and lateness at work as corruption. For someone who holds a prominent public position, he seems to lack any mindfulness of the gravitas of his public pronouncements. No, let us take this back. It is not that he is entirely unaware of his shortcomings. His banalization of corruption by relating into unfortunate circumstances. In fact, it shows how desperately he is trying to transcend the emptiness of his mind. He wants to make a profound and definitive statement on corruption, but there is not such in the part of his head that connects with his mouth. If the spread of coronavirus can be blamed on corruption, to what does the attribute other pandemic that have been recorded in human history? Does Magu even think that the current pandemic of coronavirus is novel as far as history is concerned? Has he never heard of the bubonic plague, influenza, Ebola, smallpox, HIV, SARS, swine, flu, Lassa fever, Zika virus? Did corruption cause all of this? Does he know how many diseases modern medicine has pushed into a permanent recession? When those persistences were overcome by brilliant science, was it corruption that was defeated? Why be unserious? Magu should know that for someone like him who holds a public position that is liberated on trust, faith in a literate and thoughtful leader who came to counter on most of the time to do what is best because they have worked hard at knowing what is best. He ought not to be seen peddling silly conspiracy theories to Nigerians. Why make unsubstantial claims about the origin of the coronavirus when trained scientists remains undecided on how the epidemic goes triggered? All of that said, I'll still continue but wonder how come he does not sense the weight of his office resting on his limited knowledge and feel compelled to self-improvement. If fate has thrust you into a significant position like the chairman of the EFCC, even when you do not have the mental resources to watch up to it, you can at least strive towards self-development. Magu's rather tepid speech about corruption suggests that he is not only defective, he is also surrendered and surrounded by mediocrities. Speech. The writer who operates on the same wavelength of intellection as he does not know what the risk of self-improvement less is. For Magu to link the coronavirus with corruption, it suggests he either does not read at all or he reads the wrong thing for a man occupying his position. He probably woke up this morning, read some forwarded messages on WhatsApp linked coronavirus to deliberate human mischief, and that was how he formed a strong belief. Like other public officials that work with the Muhammadu Buhari regime and similarly use corruption as a virtue significantly tactic, Magu nociously reconciled an ongoing global pandemic with that rings in his hand. It is an audacious that the manner Buhari's regime views corruption and it's failed because they have chilled corruption to death. There are garrulous books on corruption out there for him to read and understand what corruption is, not only within the local Nigeria, but also as a global part. Nothing about Magu's rants Democrats that he has ever caused or cared to develop an abstract understanding of corruption. You should understand corruption well before analyzing it. When you occupy a sensitive position, such as Magu does, you should at least train yourself to sound intelligent and competent. You should be able to speak confidently on issues from a place of knowledge. When you think or when you talk about anything, you strongly believe what you're saying. Your option and opinion on that issue should come across as informed. You ought not to be clawing to connect desperate phenomenon of epidemic outbreak and corruption in the front bid to appear up to date on global issues. If at all you have to make a connection between corruption and contagion, it should be well thought out, not contrived and so unconvincing to even yourself. If his claim on coronavirus was not a scandal, why did EFCC deny it on his behalf? First, they issued a statement to deny he ever said this, only for him to turn around and insist on it that he said it. For someone who sees corruption in the every phenomenon, in this that paying act of dishonesty itself, not a part of corruption. Viewers, this is another look real trouble for Magu. Is in big trouble for saying that coronavirus is caused by corruption. With his statement and his claim, I think he's in big trouble. Why will he say such and utter such a statement? He said that in different dimensions, corruption has placed Nigeria as a country and is unequivocal comparison on the persistential effective which corona represents with corruption. He also said that it may be appropriate to ask, what does Adelekon know about economic and financial crimes in the first instance? That corruption is caused by coronavirus. Coronavirus is caused by corruption. Why would he say such a thing? How equipped is Magu, how equipped is he? I know for sure that he doesn't read. If he truly reads, why will he mention or say such an insultive word in the presence of President Muhammadu Buhari? Even if Buhari is there, nobody cares. But he won't have uttered such statements. Corruption has been in existence for long. When Lassa fever came, Ebola and all those diseases came, why does it mean that they are caused by corruption? No. So why will he utter such a statement? I think he does not know what he's doing. How did it happen that someone that is lacking in elemental knowledge have anti-corruption initiative in Nigeria? He did not get his job on merit. He knows his assessment for his continued fit for that office is not based on superior achievements, and therefore he is no motivation whatsoever. This is the reason why he uttered such a statement, a senseless one at that. So viewers, I'm not trying to criticize him, but what I'm saying, it's indeed a reasonable statement, and to tell him that he's wrong with his statement. So what is your own contributions towards this news? Drop your comment below the comment box, and also click on the subscription button, and as well as clicking on the bell button to receive notifications whenever I publish any new video. And don't forget to like this news and also share this news. Thank you as you do. Bye.